today's segment, we visit America's neighbors to the north, Canada.
Hey guys, I'm Tim Martini from Exploring the Obscure. Today we are at the old Carlton County Jail in Ottawa, Canada. This jail was in use from 1862 to about the 1970s. It has a very dark past, but a very unique current use. Let's go check it out. To most people, thought of being in jail is not something you'd be willing to pay for, unless directed by the courts. In 1973, though, Hostel International bought what is now the Ottawa Jail Hostel. That gives you the opportunity to either stay in a room, a single wide, or a double wide cell. Now we've got a double wide cell for the day. All it is bunk beds. Mattresses feel pretty good, but you're not going to get much more than that. A desk, a fan, and a trash can. But for $40, what more can you ask for?
Over the years, Hostel International has made some improvements to make what was once a punishment into a nice, cozy place to stay for backpackers and tourists.
For those of you that are claustrophobic, a single cell probably wouldn't go well for you.
Beginning in the lobby, you can already see some of the changes made to make this old jail feel like home. A full-service kitchen, a room with TV, internet, and board games, and even a bar, appropriately called Mugshots. We now make our way up the old original stairs, and even past the suicide gates to keep the prisoners from jumping to their death, to the 8th floor.
The original Ottawa jail was built in 1842, right next door underneath the courthouse. But the sheriff said that it would be easy to get out and all the prisoners would be out tomorrow. So with that, in 1860 they started building the Carrollton County Jail, which is what we're currently in. It took them 2 years to build it, but back then it was set as a model prison. Today's standards, it's very inhumane and torture. There was no glass in the jail windows, there was no heating, no ventilation, prisoners had to sleep on straw beds, there was not even any toilets, they had to use buckets. That's a life of crime.
The 8th floor is now open only to guided tours, which the hotel does daily at 11 a.m.
Hostel International has pretty much renovated a lot of the floors. It still has a lot of the same features of the jail, obviously so you can stay in it. But the 8th floor, which is what we're on right now, is pretty much left as it was. It's still with the original wood, the original cell doors, solitary confinement, and even the private cell that you stay at the night before you're executed. This jail housed inmates from all walks of life and crime. Anywhere from drunks to murderers, from people who use profanity to rapists, and even the mentally ill.
The maximum stay in the Carlton County Jail was 2 years and a day. It housed men, women, and children, with the youngest prisoner being as young as 7 years old. The walls of the 8th floor jail cells are lined with artifacts and knowledge dating back to the 1800s.
This is the cell you would stay at the night before you were executed. The only execution style they did here at the Carrollton County Jail was by hanging. There's only officially 3 documented hangings, but said to be a lot more unofficial. The last one happened here in 1946, with execution being outlawed in Canada in 1976. The most famous one, though, as he took his walk down from that cell, through these jail doors, and down these stairs, they brought him right down here. Patrick Wayland, who is an Irish immigrant, said to have killed Darcy McGee, a Canadian Parliament of Montreal West. They brought him here. The doors were open for the public to see. Over 5,000 people came to visit on a very blizzard, snowy day. Put him in the noose. He had his last words. They opened the trapdoor. The only problem with Patrick Wayland's hanging is it didn't kill him instantly. Strangled him for 7 minutes as he hung from those doors above. After being sentenced to death, Patrick Whalen had an agreement with the judge to be buried at his family's plot in Montreal. But due to sobriety concerns, they just ended up burying him here, with an unknown number of others, right here in the parking lot.
After exploring the jail, Chris and I decided to grab some food and wander around the capital of Canada before going on a haunted walk throughout the city.
They realize they're coming from behind that wooden door over there.
Well, it's just after 11 o'clock, which is quiet time here in the Ottawa jail hostel. We spent all day exploring the jail. We did the haunted tour downtown, throughout the jail. We had a good night out on the town here in Ottawa. And we also went to the bar downstairs, Mugshots. Now, it's time for us to go to bed. Hopefully we can get a good night's sleep without being woken up by some of these ghosts. Hopefully I'll see everybody in the morning. We'll kind of see what our jail food's like.
After a very comfortable and ghostless night, Chris and I decided to grab some breakfast at the continental breakfast provided before we packed up to head out.
Well, we spent the night, we explored the old Ottawa jail, which is now owned by Hostel International, so you feel free to stay here anytime you want. Make sure you don't bring any alcohol in, or else they keep you up here for who knows how long. I'm Tim Martini with Exploring the Obscure. Make sure to check us out on Facebook under Exploring the Obscure. Same thing with YouTube. Follow all my adventures on Twitter and Instagram at Timmy Martini. And until next time, if I can ever get out of here, keep your bags packed. Let's go exploring.